see. Somebody asked, Kay asks, how long does the pain last? I've been out for a year and a half. And I was married for 9. The pain lasts different amounts of time for different people. I think what really does accelerate the process is, I think there's a couple things. So like we just talked about, gratitude really does help to move a person forward, because our brain gets stuck in that trauma. It's like the world freezes because we feel separated from everybody. I don't know if Ryan is still on here, but him and I were talking the other night, and he said, and he was absolutely, and I get it, he was absolutely right in this. He said he felt that the world has now been divided into people that understand and people that don't. And whenever we go through something traumatic, that tends to happen. So trying to kind of get back, like reintegrate this trauma into your life. Like, this is what happened. It's not right. It's not fair. It is incredibly painful. But with all of that said, there's still a lot to be thankful and grateful for. And I'm going to try to take what happened to me, and I'm going to try to make it work for my highest and greatest good. And so what I mean by that and how that kind of looks. So this is just some examples of what I would do. So when I would find myself in a lot of pain and a lot of anger, I would continually tell myself, Dana, the best revenge is a good life. Like, you've got to take this and make it work for your highest and greatest good, because what is the other option? The other option is just to stay stuck. It's to stay stuck in like the swamps of sadness, and I don't want to be here anymore. So I would take that anger and I would channel it into, I would go clean out my car. I would go clean out a junk drawer. I would go take my recycling. I would go do something positive. And I would I kind of, I guess, envisioned myself as like an emotional alchemist. So I was taking all of this anger and this pain, and I was trying to transmute it by doing something positive and constructive, because I was tired of feeling like being in a lot of pain and being really angry, and going and burning off a lot of that energy in a positive way really helped me to feel like I was reclaiming my power and control over my life, and that I was back in the driver's seat. That yes, that anger, that pain, that's still there. But instead of letting it sink me, I'm going to turn that into rocket fuel, and I'm going to use that to propel me to like my highest and greatest good. And then when I get there, I'm going to take it and I'm going to let it push me to work towards the highest and greatest good of others. I'm going to make this work for me. Damn it. And I just kind of just dug my heels in, and you just get stubborn. You get stubborn that you're in the driver's seat. And yeah, you can take this pain and this anger and you're going to make it work for you. And so trying to identify what would that look like to you? What would that look like to try to transmute that pain into something positive? Because when you can start giving your pain a purpose, especially a positive purpose, that's really when healing does start to happen. Because it's discharging that energy, it's releasing that energy, but it's also transmuting it into something positive, and it's putting it to good use. So my brother, here's another example of this. So my brother is a personal trainer, and he, when I had told him everything that had happened again in my life, he had said, he's like, Dana, he says, he'd worked with so many different clients that they'd hit rock bottom, that they'd experienced the ultimate in pain. Either, their partner had left them, they had just gotten some sort of really scary diagnosis, some sort of trauma had happened. It was their wake-up call. And they were like, something's got to give. Like, I just had all of this pain. I'm going to radically change my life. And he's like, what was so great is they were that anger, they were able to channel that pain and that hurt and that anger and that fear sometimes into getting into the best shape of their life. And that's how they processed that. So, you can make all of this work for you. There's actually a thing out there, a word, called a concept called post-traumatic growth. It's PTG for short. And post-traumatic growth is something that comes from trauma. It comes from PTSD. So when a person gets that intense amount of trauma where that level of pain, that level of discomfort is so intense, they get to that place where they either sink or they swim. And the post traumatic growth, because that pain, that emotion, it's so intense, it really can be used as rocket fuel to push a person into doing things that they might not have otherwise ever done. It can push a person into writing that book, or getting into amazing shape, or organizing their whole house, or starting a business, or doing something. It just pushes them because it's that intense. If well, you guys know, it's that intense like vice grip that you feel like that's on your brain that won't let up. And taking massive action in a positive direction is the best way to really put that pain to good use. So there is no time frame, but I really do think it does help tremendously to start giving that pain a purpose, and let it drive you. And then that, of course, the added benefit to that is now, you're living, not only are you healing, right? You're not feeling awful anymore, but you're living a life of purpose on purpose. And that's when, you're living your authentic self. And that's what this is all about anyhow. So I would try to embrace that as much as you possibly can. Lots of love to you guys. You are not alone. You are not crazy, and you really can move forward and heal from this.